Hello and welcome to the show.
Sit back and relax, because for the next hour we've got you covered with great guests, top telly recommendations, delicious dinner inspiration and ways to boost your well-being into the week ahead.
Yeah, this is Garraway's Good Stuff.
Thank you so much for joining us on Garraway's Good Stuff.
Yeah, today Shivi and I are standing in for Kate. We have got a great show lined up for you with some excellent guests, so you better be alright. They're going to be keeping us company all the way through the show.
So first up, she's a record-breaking athlete with 5 Paralympic gold medals to her name. You could say her career's gone rather swimmingly. That is such a Martin joke.
This is getting worse. Who's writing this?
Sorry, guys. It's incredible Ellie Simmonds.
And a soap icon who's had more dramatic storylines than the rest of us have had hot dinners put together. It's everyone's favourite neighbourhood doctor. It's Alan Fletcher.
And of course, later on, I'll be knocking up a delicious dish that I promise you will want to try at home. Today, it's a smacked cucumber noodle salad with miso aubergine. So it's perfect for a warm summer's day. And it's full of zingy Asian flavours. Absolute heaven.
Yeah, but first, right, I want to get us into a happy frame of mind, right? Now, I did ask you to bring in a couple of pictures that when you look at, you feel just a little bit fuzzy inside, you know. Ellie, you go first.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I brought... For me, the sea and the ocean is like pure tranquility. Do you know when you dive underneath, it's like waves and it's crazy on the top, but when you go underneath, it's just pure heaven and you don't think about anything. So I think this photo was from Madagascar. And it was, do you know, I've never seen like water so clear. And yeah, a turtle. I think, again, don't quote me, I can't remember what the type of turtle it was. I remember it being very big, but just
a big one.
Yeah, a big one. A big one.
Do you find yourself being competitive with the wildlife under the sea, though?
Oh no, they're so hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
I try and like swim as fast as I can, but do you know, like they're so at ease, but they move so fast. But I think this one was just foraging and just being really tranquil, and that's how you feel under the water. And it was just
it's amazing because it's like a different planet, isn't it, under the water? It's the closest we can get to watching alien life.
Yeah.
It is, landing on a different planet.
And the quiet as well, right? The quiet is just gorgeous.
Some of my favourite memories are scuba diving.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I remember going, I think it was off Mexico, and I was going under the water, and I could hear humpback whales calling to each other.
Oh, how
And it was just like, do you know, when you could just wish you could hold your breath for hours just to hear it. It's just a different planet, isn't it? It's like a different world, and it's crazy. Like, we're full of water, aren't we? But it's hardly discovered, really, but it's a different world.
Oh,
It's
how
absolutely
incredible.
So I'm really pleased you brought that in. Takes you back to some nice places.
Yeah.
And Alan?
Well, mine's a bit cheesy.
That's gorgeous!
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Oh, that's lovely.
The reason I chose my wedding photo, Jen and I have been married for 32 years. You can tell because I've got a little bit of hair in there. And that photo actually sits in a frame to the right of my bed. So in the morning when I wake up and I swing my legs over, Mrs. Fletcher's there, and often she's not with me in the mornings because she does breakfast radio news, so she's up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I just do find it to see, you know, the woman I love, that triggers me into the day, because sometimes you wake up feeling a bit down, you're worried about what's going to happen that day, and it's just a way of sort of going, well, actually, that's all that's really important today. Everything else is...
that is so romantic.
Yeah, that is so nice.
Where is that?
That is just near where we live, actually. That is Port Phillip Bay in Melbourne. It's a huge bay. And, of course, the photo doesn't show you what was going on. It was freezing. The wind was howling, and the bridesmaids were getting blown away, and we sort of like stoically just a big smile, but it was pretty tough conditions.
Yeah, me and my wife got a picture very similar to this. We got married in St Lucia in the Caribbean, on the edge of a cliff, just like that. But I don't think we're really married.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think it was. I think it was absolutely false. You know, the person that we paid to come and marry us. I don't think they had the right to marry us.
Well, I hope you have a photograph of Shirley next to your bed, like this.
Look, anyway, what's the next question? Your wife's a journalist, though, right? How did you guys meet?
Well, interestingly, she used to work for Channel 10 in Melbourne, and we'd known each other through various mutual friends, but she booked me to take her photograph, because I was a headshot photographer as well.
Right.
And she booked me to take the photo. So I turned up at her house, and she goes, oh, I forgot to ring you, sorry. Actually, one of the boys at Channel 10 shot my photo for me, so I don't need you now. I went, OK, good. She said, well, you better come in and have a cup of coffee, I suppose. Yeah. So that's kind of when we actually really got to know each other. So late, it would have been probably a year later, I bumped into her in a bar, and she'd actually said to her friend, who's with you? I said, oh, Fletcher's here. She said, oh, no, I'm looking for someone who's single. She said, he's single. She said, oh, I'll come over then. And it took off from there.
I like
you
that.
are such an old romantic. Who would have guessed it?
I would have guessed it. I would have guessed it.
Yeah.
So, Alan, of course, we're going to talk about Neighbours. We cannot possibly have you here without talking about Neighbours. But first, let's talk about your music.
Oh, bless her.
Because on the subject of your wife, doesn't she appear with you on stage?
She does. She plays the keyboard, and she also, on occasion, will sing with me. We love John Prine, so the wonderful song, In Spite of Ourselves, which we do together. We did at Tamworth, and yeah, it's wonderful to be able to do that together.
Oh, it's lovely doing that though. But you just released a solo EP, right?
Yeah.
Dispatches.
Dispatches.
How long were you working on that for?
Well, 2019, I met some blokes at the Tamworth Country Music Festival who are Americana producers, brilliant. And they said, come and record with us. It took me till 2021 to get to the studio.
Yeah.
And I brought a batch of songs in, and they said, yes, brilliant, love it. We'll find that, we'll fix that, we'll do this to that. 13 songs later, and I'll release the album later this year.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing though, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
But do you find the idea of going out solo, do you find that a little bit more stressful than with the band?
Well, we play as a three-piece, my wife, and I have a sensational guy who...
So you've always got a band there?
Yeah, there's always some
with you.
people to support.
Are you looking for a job?
Yeah. I'm always looking for a job. You know what it's like. You know.
In a heartbeat. I tell you, in a heartbeat, you're there, right?
You wouldn't say that if you heard me play.
I also have a bunch of... there's another band called Lachlan Bryan and the Wilds, and occasionally we team up and I front them, yeah.
So one of the songs, Alan, it's Sorry Is the Word, and you recorded this with another Neighbours star, Alice Platt.
Yeah.
We've got a little clip of it.
Oh, lovely.
Word left unspoken is the reason we are broken. It's praying that you turn around, but you just chose to stand your ground, and two hearts lie in pieces, 'cause your pride won't be defeated. Sorry is the word. You never come.
Gorgeous.
So
Gorgeous. Now, clearly, there's a deep meaning behind this song, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You'd be familiar with the English philosopher Alain de Botton.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Alain is...
Who isn't? Who isn't, Alan?
I actually was.
Interestingly, he speaks very highly of you. And he actually did a lecture once that I saw, my wife and I saw, on love. And you can see it online as well. And he the biggest point he came out of it was that we're all deeply flawed. And for relationships to work, we've got to acknowledge that and accept each other's flaws, and in fact learn to love our partner's flaws instead of trying to change each other. Well, we found that transformative.
Yeah.
We could suddenly sit there and smile when our partner did something that seemed to be a little irritating in the past. We could smile and go, that's so endearing.
Yeah.
And sorry, it occurred to me, the word sorry is just not spoken enough. If people just had, the courage to say, look, I'm really sorry.
That's right.
How many more relationships would last?
I'll tell you what, sorry is not the word that comes out of my mouth if my husband and I have a little
It's true though, it's not the word that comes out of Shirley's mouth.
It's the women.
I'm just saying it.
It's the women, I know. Cheeky.
Move on. Brilliant. But listen, Neighbours, right? You played the infamous Karl Kennedy, Dr. Karl Kennedy, for 28 years. How does it feel to you now that the show's coming to an end?
It's very bittersweet. When we first heard the show was being cancelled, we were obviously very sad. Yeah. Particularly for the fans. I mean, there's well over 1 million people watch it here in the UK alone, and around the world. There's 60 countries it went to.
Huge.
So many people are gutted, but particularly here. And so I felt for them, but also for the 200-odd people who make the show. So they're out of a job. But then there's the other aspect too, just saying, well, 28 years' work? I mean, you've got to be grateful that you got to go on that journey at all, really. Yeah. I mean, as you well know, it's sort of... it's fantastic to have an ongoing role.
It's an amazing thing being in one of those long-running soaps, isn't it? You know, I did EastEnders for a few years, 3 years in fact, you know, and I'd say the most confusing thing is that you end up, especially if you're in it for as long as you were, where you have two lives running in parallel. And what's really bad is when going to work and playing your character is an easier life than the one you got at home. That's when you know things are going wrong.
Another thing Shirley's going to love.
Yeah.
Do you walk through the door and then you think, I have to be in the character?
Well, how would you...
It never leaves you, I don't think. I think after a time, you personally and your character mix together, don't they?
Well, I'm not sure. It was probably like that in the early doors for me, but as Karl developed, he got sillier and duffier, you know, like he was an idiot.
I remember.
And I'd like to think I had a bit better handle on life than Karl. So it actually made it delicious for me, because I would get scripts that just a bit wacky. Yeah. And I'd say, okay, I've got to, you know, as you know, we've got to make choices to let the audience believe we would do this. Yeah. So Karl kind of went off in these different places. I always say that the only thing that Karl Kennedy and I have in common is our hair, or in this case, our lack of it.
Talking about crazy moments, I mean, you have had an absolute wild ride with Karl Kennedy, Dr. Karl Kennedy, should I say. I mean, you've had affairs, naughty, you've been slapped.
I have.
You've saved somebody from drowning, you've had a naturist lunch, which, by the way, is right up this one street. You told us about this. Anyway.
It was, I'll tell you what, last week we were talking about me and Shirley, the way we kind of relax is to walk around the house naked. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Be free.
I know, be free.
Especially in the hot weather, got to let things
exactly. Alan, you'd fit right in there. But what has been your top memory from the show, from Neighbours?
I think it would be when Karl and Susan remarried on the Thames. We came over, we had wonderful guests in the episodes. Emma Bunton, Sir Michael Parkinson, Julian Clary, Neil Morrissey married us. Wow. And it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, looks amazing on screen. That day, freezing, wind howling down the Thames. The light is fading, and the director just said, just keep doing it until we say cut. But in the story, it was beautifully emotional, tears, and then Izzy turns up, Karl's ex turns up and has a baby right there at the wedding, and it turns out that baby is in fact Karl's and he didn't know it.
Oh, Neighbours.
Alan, what do you see as your future? Do you see it still in acting, or do you want to move over to music?
Well, I think of myself very much as an entertainer. Yeah. So, it's music. But acting and music are both telling stories, right? Yeah. So, really, it's just, you've got 3.5 minutes with a song that you probably might have an episode or two with a drama. And so you've got to approach things differently. But for me, the two are symbiotic. They work hand in hand. So I'm hoping to be able to successfully do both for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, but art is art, isn't it? You know, I always look at it in you paint with oils or you paint with watercolours. But it's the same kind of thing. It's in the same bubble. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, you're trying to affect people. You're trying to sell a message and tell a story. So, yeah, there's many ways of doing it. Dance is another one, you know.
And it doesn't stop there, because you're multi-talented. Your fans may not know you're also an incredible photographer.
Oh, thank you.
And we have got some of your photographs here.
Oh, wow.
This is Iceland. It's Vesterhorn. Iceland's one of the most incredible countries I've visited. You guys have probably been up there more often than Aussies have been. But I've been lucky enough to go twice, and it's beautiful. Again, I keep talking about the weather. We shot that. The tripods were being blown backwards. We had to sit there and hold the tripods like this to get the shots. Because it was
Do you use digital, or is that on film?
This is now digital. I shot film for years and years and years. I had my own dark room and so forth. But that was when I was doing portrait photography. But for these days, it's all digital.
Alan, been so lovely talking to you today. And you can pick up Alan's album, Dispatches. It's out now. You can download it, or you can go straight to his website.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, because Martin and I are heading to the kitchen to make our smacked cucumber salad. It's not as dangerous, actually, with you in the kitchen. It probably is as dangerous. Anyway, we'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Garraway's Good Stuff. And as you can see, Shivi and I have made our way to the kitchen, and I guess Ellie Simmonds and Alan Fletcher over there patiently waiting for something to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we better get a move on.
Oh, we will, don't you worry. So today I'm making a smacked cucumber noodle salad with miso aubergine. So this recipe is so refreshing. No wonder we have the saying as cool as a cucumber.
Right.
And we're going to smack the cucumber. It's not just for fun.
Yep.
It's going to look fun. It's not just for fun and for stress relief, but actually by smacking the cucumber, it's going to allow for greater absorption of all those glorious flavours in the dressing.
Great. Let's do it.
I'm going to give you that task of smacking the cucumber. You've got a rolling pin there, and I'm going to... rolling pin, Martin.
Oh, what, you bash it with this?
Yes. Jeez, just do
I thought it was going wrong. I thought I was doing something wrong.
You're desperate to... Oh, goodness me. All right, I think that's...
Is that good?
You've done it, Okay,
right.
Great. Put the rolling pin down, and then just chop that into little 1 centimetre chunks, into the colander and lots of salt, Martin.
Right.
And I'm going to get on with the aubergine. And cucumber, obviously, is mostly water, so it's a hydrating ingredient. And aubergine, the other star of this, is in season now, and it's very special. It's full of antioxidants that actually help your brain cell membrane. So it's great for memory loss and for any age-related memory issues.
Well, anything purple helps the brain.
Yes, it's anthocyanins
Purple broccoli
and nasinin.
Like
yeah, that's exactly it.
but I like this idea of getting the water out of the cucumber because it always makes everything soggy.
Yeah, we don't
Even
want...
salad, it does that.
Exactly, and yet the salting also helps draw out that water, which is wonderful. Wow, you're flying ahead. Can you grate these for me as well?
Yeah, of course.
And so into my aubergine, or rather onto my aubergine, I'm going to make a really quick dressing with brown miso, and that's fermented soy, which again is brilliant, full of good bacteria, great for your gut health, and also some honey here.
Now, is it miso or miso? I call it miso.
I call it miso. Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pop that miso dressing on, very simple, and that is just going to base that. And the honey is going to caramelize on top of the aubergine and give it a gorgeous, slightly sweet flavour and a long...
You didn't see that.
What, are you dropping precious material down there?
No, it's somewhere.
Nothing happened.
Right, honestly, I can't take you anywhere. So the miso has gorgeous umami in it. So I don't know if you know about umami, the fifth taste, really meaty.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, and it's a savoury flavour without it being meat. So give that quite a generous brush. And I'm going to pop this into the oven at 160 degrees for about 50 minutes. And after 20 minutes, I will remove the foil that's been on top of it. So quite generous in there. Do you need something to do, Martin?
Yeah.
Here. 2 chilies.
Great.
There you go. A lovely, thinly sliced.
So is it going to have a bit of a kick with those chilies?
It will have a kick. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, she'll be.
Just how we like it.
Yeah. Are you a good cook, Alan?
The only way I cook is to go out into the carport and go and pick up the food that's been ordered.
So there's no like
easiest way, isn't
Australian,
it?
there's no Australian speciality other than putting a shrimp on the barbie.
Well, actually, it's funny you should say that with barbies because I actually quite commonly cook for myself and I use the barbecue for everything. I cook everything on the barbecue. Yeah.
It's good, you can do that. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
You know, I just got one of those clay ones, clay barbecue. You can cook a lot on there. It's so good. What about you, Ellie? You a good cook?
Oh, I love cooking. I'm a vegetarian, but I love tofu. I love like trying new things. Yeah, I'm definitely a cooker. Cooker?
I hope you're not a cooker.
I'm a cooker.
And I heard you're really into your baking.
Oh yeah, I'm a sweet tooth. You know, like you know when you go to a restaurant, I'm always main and dessert all the way. I love dessert. I love sweet things. Give me ice cream, cheesecake, cakes. Yeah, I'm happy.
My daughter's a pastry chef, so you can imagine what happens at our place.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys should connect then, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like Ellie's heaven. But Ellie, do you have a second breakfast? Do you have that idea of, you know, when you were high in your competitive sports, were you able to eat just a lot more?
Yeah, definitely, because I was burning off the calories. Bit different now, I've retired, not burning off the calories. I have to very much watch what I eat, but when I was an athlete, yeah, I definitely enjoyed my food.
On that note, can I tell you what's gone into this delicious dressing?
Yes.
So I've got rice wine vinegar, I've got light soy sauce, and I've got sesame, so really classic Asian flavours going in here. You can add lime in here, you can add ginger, but my style of food is most flavour with minimal effort. So we're just keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to add caster sugar here as well for additional sweetness. Okay, so can I ask you
Yeah.
to actually pop the noodles. So these are rice noodles that have just been blanched in hot water for about 3 minutes.
Right.
And they're cold. It's going to be a gorgeous, refreshing cold noodle salad.
Yeah.
So these are cucumber chunks that have been left for about 10 minutes, and you can see the liquid that's collected.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. You're giving me a big responsibility here
Well, I know you can do it.
to mix these together.
I have faith in you, Alan. I've got
In
faith.
here?
Yeah, in there.
All right, here we go.
And just half of the chili, not all the chili.
Yeah, of course.
If the seeds in it, does it make it more spicier?
So it's not the seeds,
It's not the
pith.
seeds.
It's the pith that makes chili spicy.
Oh.
So you know when you cut open a chili, you have that sort of white inside bit?
Yeah.
That's what makes it the spice.
Oh,
Gives
not
it
the
spice.
seeds.
Not the seeds.
People always
I
think
always
it's
thought
the
it was
seeds.
the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I think the whole nation thinks it's the seeds,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's the pith.
Oh, learn something new.
So the aubergines have 50 minutes. We've taken the foil off, and we get that gorgeous, caramelized, burnished, treasure
You're a
trove.
magician,
Oh,
Shiv. You
I
really
think the
are.
oven is the magician.
You're a magician.
There we go. Absolutely stunning. And I'm going to bring some plates across.
Where do you want the chilies?
Do you know what? Let me scoop some of those
I'll
off.
take those.
There we go.
I'll tidy up.
And that's our little garnish, our mise en place station. And then I'm just going to grab one of these aubergines. And they are juicy and so wonderful. You're not going to miss any meat in this.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it smells delicious.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Right, here we go.
All right, let's just give that a little mix through. Going to use these tongs. Now this is my kind of food, which is clearly going to go all over my lovely white shirt.
It will.
Look at that. And those gorgeous translucent noodles just
Noodles of
absorb.
perfection, I've got to say.
So I'm going to serve that up now. Here we go.
Coming in.
Woo! A nice big chunk of that.
Shiv, that's amazing. Look
Goodness
at that.
me, these noodles have a
Let's
life
do
of
it.
their own. And then
Let's do it.
let's give it some coriander and chili.
It looks so pretty.
It's gorgeous, and the flavours are sensational,
Yeah.
and it's cooling. And some toasted sesame seeds. And look at that. First
All
plate
right,
up.
that's mine.
You guys want to come up?
This is going to be lovely.
This is going to be so nice. Oh,
There
this
we
looks
go. A
lovely.
tangle of noodles. And,
Oh, wow.
oh my goodness me, look at these.
It smells lovely.
Please tuck
Ooh.
in.
Got a bit of aubergine here.
Yeah, get a bit of everything.
Get a bit of everything.
Oh, yeah, they're very long.
I know, they're mad. I've never seen a longer noodle.
Oh.
That is so delicious.
The aubergine is
lovely.
amazing.
Mm.
Well, you can come again, Alan.
Oh, just that dressing. Incredible.
That sauce is
So
really...
simple.
That is so delicious, I can't tell you.
So while you lot finish this and I'm trying to get these noodles out, I will quickly say it's £1 and 8p a portion without the chili and the coriander, which I think is brilliant value as well.
amazing.
Brilliant, right?
And if you want to make Shivi's aubergine smack cucumber noodle salad at home tonight, then head over to Instagram at Garraway's Good Stuff for all the details.
So while these guys finish off the rest of this, don't go anywhere, as we've got plenty more good stuff for you, including all about how Ellie went from sports star to documentary maker. See you in a bit.
See you later. Welcome back to Garraway's Good Stuff. Today you've got me and the lovely Shivi Ramoutar standing in for Kate.
And on this show, we love to delve into our guests' lives. Don't worry, that sounds a bit freaky, but it's not. And we want to find out what they do to bring a bit more joy into their world. And I'm talking about those little things. So let's find out what these two have got in store today in the Saturday Share.
Yeah, Alan, you first. What have you got to share?
Well, I find that songwriting and playing music is my way of centering myself, escaping from the world, getting issues out of your brain. It's a really good way of sort of downloading stuff that's worrying you. So I find often I'll just walk around and like poems will come out of me, or speak them into your phone, sing into your phone, and then go and get the guitar and just try and, just trying to let it all out. And the time flies by. That's the brilliant thing about it.
It's an amazing thing, that, isn't it? When you're getting your brain to work and be artistic, time just goes so fast.
Totally.
Disappears.
Yeah, and poor Jen walks in and goes, I thought you were going to mow the lawns. I go, no, I just brought a song.
And Ellie, what have you brought in?
So I've got, for me, it's about, sometimes you can get lost, can't you? You're thinking about the next goal, you're thinking going, where actually sometimes it's about sitting and stopping. And for me, what I do, me and my good friend Gemma, we have to say 3 things that we're grateful for each day. It could be the simplest things. It could be like, oh, a cup of coffee was really nice. It could be, oh, the sun is shining. It could be, I'm trying to think of another thing. It's nice to be here on the show, chatting to you guys. You know, sometimes, like, because we were always thinking about, oh, we've got to do this job, we've got to do this, we've got to achieve this, this and this, where actually sometimes it's about the simple little pleasures to be thankful for.
The gratitude, yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Once I opened up my sock drawer.
Yeah.
Where's this headed?
I opened up the sock drawer and there's a little note there saying, you know, be grateful for at least one thing in the day. And Jen had actually gone around and put all these little notes around the house, just reminding, just for about mindfulness.
Yeah.
Just, and it's great if it's hidden in a way from you, so you actually come across it by accident and it makes you go, oh yes, of course, yeah.
Really nice. I love that.
Now, so talking about being busy, Ellie, you retired last September after 15 years of an incredible career in the pool. Surely that must have been so difficult to hang up your goggles.
I already knew going into Tokyo that was going to be my last game. Do you know when you know you're ready for it? I'd been to 4 games, I achieved everything that I wanted to do, especially London 2012, getting the whole collection and competing in front of a home crowd. So I knew that Tokyo, and especially with the year that we had and what everyone had with COVID, it was going to be different. So I thought, in a way, it was quite nice to have it planned, because I thought, I'm just going to enjoy everything about these last games, going to soak it all in. But yeah, actually looking back now, I'm like, I'm glad I've retired, because I'm so happy to not have wet hair all the time, not at the early mornings. But I think sometimes you know when you want to go for that next goal or the next chapter. When you've done everything, and like you said, I've done it for 15 years, well, since learnt when I was 5, and now I'm 27, so that's all I'd known really. And I think being an athlete, you've got your life planned out for that year, World Championships, Europeans, and then your 4-year plan. Like I loved it, and I loved being an athlete, but I was ready to do something different.
Yeah. Did you ever not have soggy skin?
Oh,
do you know when your skin goes really
soggy? Yeah.
When you've been in the bath too long? Was it always like that?
Yeah, and smelling of chlorine all the time. Cool. And like, you don't realise until you're finished how like the athlete vibe that you were. I always wore joggers and comfies, had my hair up, wet hair in a bun all the time, no makeup. And actually it's nice now to feel human, you know, but the chlorine smell I don't miss.
But the Commonwealth Games coming to Birmingham, right? You're going to be commentating this time.
Yeah.
How different is that? And are you looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm so excited. I think when you're an athlete, you're just so focused. You're just doing your sport and focusing on yourself. Where actually now I'm going to be able to sit and chat about the sport that I love to talk about, but sit and just watch the athletes and the racing, and not just swimming as well. Commonwealth Games, there's so many different sports. You've got gymnastics, lawn bowls, para-lawn bowls, cycling, triathlon. So I'm actually really looking forward to not just being in the pool, well, I will be, but seeing other sports as well, and the athletes, and Team England, Team Scotland, and there's going to be some amazing races. And actually, you Australian athletes are ones to watch as well. You've got the you've got on the Olympic side, you've got like the likes of Emma McCohen and Ariana Titmus. She's just recently broken the 400 freestyle world record. And Cody Simpson, actually, he's an actor and a singer, and he's going to be coming to this. And then you've got so many para guys.
He knows they've got a good team.
I bet my house on them.
I should be, but Team England, and you've got the home nation athletes as well. There's going to be incredible athletes to watch. I love sport. Like, I talk about sport every single day.
Clearly passionate about it, which is a good thing, because aren't you now also going to be competing in the All-Star Commonwealth Games with Dame Kelly Holmes?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be captaining 2 teams that are battling out against each other.
Oh, yeah. So it's so nice, because my competitiveness is going to come back out, which I cannot wait.
Oh,
so,
look, you look like you're gearing to go.
Yeah, I'm ready. And she and my team as well. Dame Kelly Holmes, I think she's competitive as well, isn't she?
Oh, there's going to be one to watch.
An Olympian and multiple medalist and gold medalist. So I think, it's going to be really fun, and you're going to have incredible athletes, but also entertainment people competing against each other, like in so many different sports. So it's going to be entertaining.
I can see the sparks flying off you now already. I think this is definitely going to be
I know, I'm going to be like cheering.
Cracking the whip there.
Yeah, because I think,
Absolutely.
I'm competitive, but I also want it to be fun as well, because it would be boring, wouldn't it? You want it to be, you want sport to be enjoyable. It's not just about getting the gold medal, it's about taking part.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're always busy, always, and you've recently gone into making documentaries for TV. Was that a goal of yours, or was that something that come out of the blue?
Yeah, to come out the blue, really, and especially there's two big things that I'm passionate about. I've just done one recently about the drug with dwarfism, vosoritide, and going on that journey and the meeting the individuals from families that welcomed me into their homes and to chat to them about a big, big subject, and especially a drug that's changing people in a way. Yeah, it's fascinating, and the one that I'm doing at the moment, currently still filming, it's not out till next year, about adoption and disability. So yeah, two really, really interesting subjects, and yeah, I never thought I would be doing documentaries, but it's fascinating, you know. And
quite hard-hitting topics, the documentary you're filming now. I mean, why did you want to get that message out there?
I think adoption is a subject you don't really talk about, do you? And I know so many people who have been adopted, and individuals with a disability who have been adopted. And I think for me it was just something I wanted to go down and learn about and chat to people, and so far I've met some incredible people.
Was it a surprise for you, the whole adoption process, of how difficult it is?
It's fascinating. From beforehand, what I didn't realise is that every region or council in the United Kingdom are all different, and it's all run differently. I thought that it would all be one rule for one.
That is quite fascinating, because you would just think it would be across the nation, there'd be one regulation, as it were, one set of regulations.
There's an estimated 40% of children in care have a disability, and that's a massive percentage, isn't it? And I think that's what we're finding out is why are so many children in the care system? Why do they have a disability? Like, well, not why do they have a disability, but they have a disability, but why are they in the care system?
Goodness me. So you clearly have a passion for finding these hard-hitting topics. What do you think is the next one you want to tackle?
Oh, that's a hard question, because there's so many amazing things and so many interesting things. I would love to, the documentary I just did about vosoritide, about a world without dwarfism. I'd love to see those kids who are on the drug, what they're like in like 10 years' time, to see and like to find out, about has the drug changed them, has their perceptions of the drug changed. So yeah, I think for me, it's about that 10 years on. I've seen the kids now that are on the drug, but what's the change?
Ellie, well, listen, absolute joy talking to you, and good luck with absolutely everything you do. But you don't need it, because you're brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
No, as I said, this is a sofa overachievers over there. Not that you aren't, Martin. Not that you aren't. Now, time for a very short break, but don't go anywhere, because we've got some must-see TV and film recommendations for you.
Yeah, plus we're going to be walking a fine line in the last part of the show. I mean, literally, we are trying a little bit of slacklining. All will be revealed.
Ooh.
Welcome back to Garraway's Good Stuff. Shivi and I are here with Ellie Simmonds and Alan Fletcher. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Great pleasure.
Now it's the time of the show where we take a look at some of the great stuff to watch in the week ahead. So first up, and I'm so excited about this, it's a film based on the beautiful novel Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and it's actually one of the best-selling books of all time, as it happens. But whether you've read the book or not, this adaptation starring the brilliant Daisy Edgar-Jones from Normal People, it's sure to have you on the edge of your seat. It tells the story of the swamp girl Kaya, who's grown up mostly alone in the marshes of North Dakota, and she's accused of murder while navigating her first experiences of love. So let's take a look at the trailer.
The marsh taught me how to survive, but it couldn't teach me everything.
You can't live alone in the marsh forever.
Watch me.
All right. It's dangerous to live out here alone like this.
I'm fine.
You're something else, ain't you?
Miss Catherine Clark is charged with the murder of Chase Bandry.
Oh, that looks superb. Really good.
Very excited. Yeah. Ellie, do you like the look of that?
Oh, I do. I love the book. Really love the book. And I
read
like
the book?
Yeah, I have.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
read
can
it
read
this
it
morning.
later.
It's a bestseller, one of the biggest books ever. I thought, I better not say I've never heard of it.
And you just have.
Yeah.
So if you fancy that, then Where the Crawdads Sing is out in the cinemas now.
Yeah. Next up, The Grey Man. Not a 50 Shades of Grey spin-off, all right? But it is just a little bit sexy. It's the most expensive film ever made by Netflix, and it's got everything. It's got action in it, it's got stunts, it's got Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, which so surely you'll watch it. Right? It's about a CIA agent forced to go on the run after discovering some incriminating secrets, all the while being hunted by a psychopathic former colleague. Let's take a look at this. This is right up my street.
Reckless mystery men you guys send in when you can't officially send anyone else.
The Grey Man.
Lloyd. I got an urgent locate and destroy.
That could be fun. The man's got some street cred.
I can kill anybody. Maybe not anybody.
Oh, yes. That looks decent, I have to say.
You could tell they spent some money on that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks decent.
Does look great.
Yeah. Grey Man. It's on Netflix. Came out yesterday. Got to go home straight away and check it out.
Yeah, it's funny, I don't normally watch that type of movie, but that does look interesting. A little bit like Bourne Identity. That's
It does.
Yeah, I mean, that, with the one man against the world kind of thing. But I have to say The Crawdads is probably what I'm more likely to gravitate
Okay,
towards.
that's interesting to know. But hold on, we've got something else, Alan. So for any Bridgerton and Jane Austen fans, listen up. If you've been missing the drama involved in sourcing suitors, saucy scenes, and social etiquette, try saying that 3 times. And you're looking for your next Regency fix, then Sanditon could be for you. It's based on Jane Austen's final unfinished novel, and the second series has just started on ITV. It's set 9 months after the emotional finale of the first series, and the show tells the story of Charlotte Hayward, played by Rose Williams, a young woman from a quiet village who falls unexpectedly into the dramas, romances, and secrets of the seaside resort of Sanditon. And we've got a clip to go along.
Sanditon is fast becoming the most desirable destination on the south coast.
I am besieged by fortune hunters.
How are we to attract rich husbands unless we look the part?
Came here to avoid all that.
I have a job as a governess.
I have never possessed such power.
No one chooses to be a spinster.
I am dying to hear your first impressions of Sanditon, Colonel.
I was struck by its natural beauty.
You can't recapture what you had with Sydney.
I believe you have a rival.
Love isn't as simple as you seem to think.
Oh, I love it. You guys have a look at that one?
Yeah,
I think so, you got to. Gorgeous.
Wholesome, corset-gripping stuff.
that's going to be on in my house to do that.
Corsets too.
Yeah, Sunday evening. Not a corset. It's going to be on television. Right? But it is so up mine and Shirley's street. Yeah.
Oh, so if you love the look of that, then the new episodes are airing on Fridays at 9 p.m. on ITV, and you can catch up on the whole first series too on ITV Hub. There's something for everyone there, I think.
Yeah, right. We have reached the part of the show where we get a little bit out of our comfort zones, but you never know. We might really like it.
Well, don't look at me. I've got an out here. It's going to be fun for me to watch, and probably a little bit of fun for you guys too. So let's see what you're going to be doing. This one's a bit of a balancing act.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up, touch the ceiling. Monstrous of bump up, someone talking junk, yeah, I'll bust them in the eye.
Right, so if you don't know what that is, I can tell you it's called slacklining. A bit of tightrope walking, but with a little bit more give. We're joined by Boris Vysokoborskis. Woo! From Gymbox to tell us more.
Hi guys, thank you very much for having me. Excited to be here. Yes, I came up with the idea for a class which improves your motor skills, your balance and coordination. And then we found this new piece of equipment which is called gi board, which is essentially a board with 2 wings and a slackline in it, which means that we can bring now the slackline discipline into indoors.
Great. And so what exactly are you going to be doing with this piece of incredible looking equipment?
We're going to be balanced on it. So all we're going to do is activate our motor skills and find the balance right in the middle of it.
On the ribbon, right? The thin part, Martin, the thin part.
I know what a ribbon is. I'm just thinking about the balancing. That's what's my problem.
But use your core, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be easy. We're going to start nice and with the fundamentals of the class, and then we're going to try a few tricks if you like. Should we do that?
I think Ellie will do the tricks. My motor skills are in the garage at home.
Yeah. You take inspiration from other sports, don't you? Not just...
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We take inspiration from surfing, from skateboarding, from snowboarding. So all the other boards, now there's an extra board in the family is a gi board.
But it's not just about core, right? There must be some mental endurance here, surely.
Absolutely, because you're taking yourself out of the comfort zone, and it's a fear of being imbalanced because we're so used to staying on both of our feet, and just take that challenge and push yourself a step extra on the line. It's challenging.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's about time this lot picks up the slack. Boris, show them what they've got to do.
Guys, before we're going to start, there's only 2 things I want you to be aware of. One is to keep your knees soft throughout the time, and if you lose the balance, all you need to do is just hop off the line on the soft knees again. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. We're going to start with 1 foot activation. So we're going to come on the left side of the board, then we're going to bring our right foot. Yes, exactly. You already start to use your brain and figure out where the left side is. Okay, and now from here we soften our knee, and then we're just going to shift our balance over the line, and then when you feel comfortable enough, start to release your left leg and finding that balance. So what's happening now, our core is getting engaged, and we're not talking just a six-pack, we're talking about the whole core muscles. Our brain is starting to figure out where we are, and we start to realize our body in space.
It's harder than it looks, isn't it? It's so hard.
Guys, what we're going to do then, straight away, we're going to do it on the other leg, because as our body are not symmetrical, you will find out that left and right can feel a little bit different as well.
How are you finding it, Alan?
A little challenging.
And if you want to make it challenging,
hang on.
Are you better?
Try not to look
I think
down.
you could be at home.
Not look down.
Not look down. Nice, you're doing really good.
Oh, Alan, look at that. Alan, you must have been a surfer back in Australia.
Ballerina.
Ellie's
I'm trying to focus on something else.
That's exactly what you need to do. Just don't look down.
It's strong in that corner. That is brilliant, Ellie. And Alan. Sorry, Martin.
Right, so we've mastered it. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
But that's not it. Now we're going to try to put both of our feet on the line.
Both.
Whatever you feel comfortable, left or right first. So bring it a little bit closer to the tail of the board, and then bring the second leg right in front of it. And
surely,
remember,
Boris,
keep your
nobody
knees
gets
soft.
it so easily, right? How long does it take for you to master the... Oh, gosh, but look at Ellie.
Oh, no, that was like 2 seconds, 2 seconds.
I would say 2 or 3 weeks if you exercise at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
We just need to build up that
You're good at it.
muscle memory, and just your brain needs to learn where the gravity center is for you.
Okay, fine. So, Martin, you've got an excuse.
Well,
You don't have to master this in 1 session.
I thought you were going to say it's my brain.
Although I say that, Ellie's got it pretty well.
Guys, there's other
Getting
ways.
worse at it.
In a class, as you keep attending, you keep progressing, so there's other option how to get on the board. Instead of stepping on it, you can also just hop on it, hover,
Oh, wow.
or you can step on the tail and climb on it.
Oh.
Would you like to try that one?
Yes.
Have a proper here.
Well,
You can try the hop. So all
I'm
you
getting
need to
nervous.
do,
I'm getting nervous, Alan.
I'm going back
instead of jumping high, you want to bring your knees up and balance.
Oh, I don't think...
Go on, Ellie.
You got it.
You can do it, Ellie. We're here.
Do it.
I guess it isn't in the water.
No, I'm on land. I'm on land.
It's okay.
You want to jump, but then you don't think you're going to land on it.
You do.
Oh.
Go on.
I'll try one more. One more.
One more. If not, I'll give you something else.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
No, don't
I don't normally
apologise.
give up.
It's a try and error and failure kind of class. It's like a workshop because it is a safe space to try. And if you fail once, you fail twice. In the end, you will learn it. It's the same like riding a bicycle. Not everyone starts from the first time without falling.
So Boris, as you are obviously an expert, can you show us some of your trickier moves?
Class is not just about motor skills and balance. We also add a little bit of strength in it. So, for example, you can perform lunges. I'm going to start with the other leg. So when you're balancing, and then you start using your legs in order to come down.
Wow. And a lot of yoga in there as well, isn't there? A lot of yoga in your movement?
Yes, one of our holistic instructors, he brought a lot of yoga movements into it. So, for example, there's an option to do a warrior pose, which is quite common in yoga pose. And there is also, I'll try to nail it, you can do a meditation where you switch your weight and you twist. There we go.
Oh, impressive. Amazing.
So good. Thanks so much, Boris, for bringing these in. I've never seen them before. And if you want to give it a go yourself, head over to Gymbox website, check out their Slack School classes, but be careful.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's your lot. It's been our absolute pleasure to step in today. And if you want to watch it all over again, or if you missed any of the show, you can catch up on the ITV Hub.
Yeah, thanks so much to all our guests, Ellie Simmonds.
Alan Fletcher.
And make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. for Vic Hope's Breakfast Show right here on ITV.
And don't forget to tune in next Saturday for more Garraway's good stuff.
Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. See you later.